in the sun or in the rain. It's the kind of thing, you know, it's straight out of that dirty South, dirty roads. Nobody got no money, got them signed up pickup trucks, whistling at them from the country. Yes, sir. You know, it's straight out of that long week working now. Everybody wanna party all night long, bonfire on the back 40 in the middle of nowhere. Nobody going home tonight till we're straight out of moonlight, straight out of moonlight. Woo!
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. One team comes in off a victory, the other comes in off a defeat. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, overcast skies, but knock on wood, no rain on the radar to speak of right now as we welcome you to CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. They'll come out in the pistol.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Wasn't that supposed to be a sweep?
They didn't even get to the outer third of the field. That got blown up quickly.
Normally, when you're calling a play, you're talking about that tackle made, as you said, to the outer part of the field. Ran that one down in a hurry. That's great diagnosis by the defense.
They're going to look to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
After the interception, here's Wilson. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. The dump off good for 8 there on first down. Just 2 yards to go here on second down for the offense. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, here's Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson. Wilson was the target, and it's third and short. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the right hash, this from 48. And Boswell's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They begin the drive with Johnson. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the quarterback, he's got some big threats at wideout.
And they seem to get bigger all the time, don't they, Brandon? Every time I look out and watch a game, we're getting these bigger, more athletic, acrobatic receivers. We have some today.
They'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski. And now it's third down. And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And it's 3rd down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the score.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll come out throwing here to start. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. Leopard.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
And there's a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side.
Green 39. Green 39.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And Nelson's got it here right side. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Give them 16 on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Seattle first down. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll run with Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. Second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Wilson. And he locates Luke Wilson. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chandler Jones coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Now Wilson on second down. Gets it to Gordon. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
So 5 yards remain now, still first down. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. Room here to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Offense needs 11. Have to think pass here on third down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that brings up fourth down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at
Tyler Lockett, the 40, past the 20, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 96 yards. And the the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call. Run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Now Johnson found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Doesn't matter who the runner is going to be each week. Defenses get ready to gang tackle. They want multiple people to the ball. They want to make sure they take the proper angles to the runner, make sure there's no place for him to spin out and go what they call through the back door and get away from people. And they want plenty of guys there to hit him, try to knock the ball free, the whole deal. But on that play, the best laid plans did not work. It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
Let's go! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jordan Hill forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. They slot Gronkowski outright. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, and it's third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's got time. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out now come the Seahawks. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson going to Rawls on the dump off. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Fresh set of downs here. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Another pistol look here. Now Wilson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Gronkowski, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Flush to his right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw. Caught by Nelson left side. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw here on first down. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Now that's the way you run offense. Understanding your clock situation. Excellent job getting to the sideline and getting out of bounds. That's the way to conserve time.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. In motion right is John Brown. They'll send Brown in motion right. They'll throw now on the final play. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect...
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And the wideout in motion. On 2nd down, Wilson. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Robert Kimdichie in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. 18 yards there and a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Pitch goes to Rawls. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Throwing is Wilson. He'll dump it off to Procise. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
11 yards on the pickup, and the Seahawks are going to have a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
No matter what defense is called versus a running play, linebackers are telling the defensive guys up front, you take care of the offensive line, keep us uncovered, let us run to the ball, we'll make big plays. Well, that paid off there. All the guys up front, the big fellas, they controlled the 5 offensive linemen. That allowed the linebackers to see the openings, sprint through the gap, and snuff that play out in a hurry.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. And he's got Lockett. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down? Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on, because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Man, a tough spot to drop that down here, 3rd and goal.
And so many times when you analyze a play like this, you talk about the people around him and maybe his focus was gone. Sometimes just simply him understanding how close he is to the end zone and a chance to score, and he tightens up and doesn't complete the play.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll set up a throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Gronkowski, slot left. He'll look to throw, surveying the field, going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. And on 2nd and 10 now. They slot Gronkowski outright. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. It's a quarterback sneak. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Now this time he'll look to throw. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Second down following the incompletion. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Finding time. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
On third down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Second down and 4.
Watch right, watch right. Hey, alert, alert. Watch team. Alert, alert.
On second down, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. This will be caught at about the 3. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he puts it through. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus-yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Green, 39. Green. Watching that, Marty.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. But they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
The toss right to Rawls. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Here's Wilson to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Boswell missed it to the right. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Green, 39, green.
On second down, Johnson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. 12 yards is the pickup there. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to look deep down the field. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They slot Gronkowski outright. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. They'll go with a keeper. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And they're going to speed things up here.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what do you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here on first down. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. 6 yards to go here on 2nd down. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they pick up win number 4 on the campaign as they emerge victorious here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.
crack of dawn, Monday morning coffee, strong, pouring everything you got into a paycheck Friday night. Your power stroke, these